each have a role to play.
When we join together across borders, cultures and generations,
We are part of the solution.
the future of food,
Belongs to all of us.
hand in hand for better foods,
And a better future for everyone.
Thank you. And with that, it is my very great pleasure to invite our inspirational Director General, Dr. Qu Dongyu, to deliver his 2025 World Food Day address. Director General, please.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, good morning from Rome. Dear colleagues and friends, it is great honor and a privilege to welcome you to FAO headquarters today in the heart of Rome. The entire city, as we celebrate World Food Day and FAO 80th birthday. Congratulations to all of you. Happy birthday to FAO. I'm so deeply honored to welcome the esteemed world leaders who have joined us today in person in Rome, in FAO headquarters. His Holiness Papa Leo XIV, Dear Excellency Prime Minister of Italy, Dear Excellency Deputy Prime Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation of Italy, His Majesty King of Lesotho, Goodwill Ambassador of FAO, Her Majesty Queen of Spain, also Goodwill Ambassador of FAO. Here, Royal Highness the Princess of Jordan, also Goodwill Ambassador of FAO. Here, Excellency President, Oriental Republic, Uruguay. His Excellency Prime Minister of Kingdom of Eswatini. Your Excellency First Lady of Federative Republic Brazil. His Excellency Ban Ki-moon, former Secretary General of the United Nations. Minister of Agriculture and Rural Affairs, Special Envoy of President Xi of China. To all of you here in Rome and connected virtually from around the globe, 热烈欢迎 Welcome, Bienvenue, Benvenidos. Alan Salakom, Dobra was Hala Vek, Benvenuti. Your presence here today is a true reflection that hunger knows no borders, and that the challenge of food security demands unity among the nations, among the people. The world leaders and people everywhere must come together united by our collective belief and that the right to food is the basic human right, and that peace is the prerequisite for food security. I'm particularly humbled to welcome His Royal Holy Leo XIV to April headquarters, first time forever, and the UN family since he enrolled in his early position. Let's give the applause to the Holy Father. Your Holiness, you are present on this World Food Day, especially 80th anniversary of FAO's birthday. It's a great honor. Remind us that the fight against hunger is not only about food. It is about dignity and our shared humanity. Your guidance encourage us to put people, to put humankind in the center of everything we do. We heed your call for a more just society, where the poor and the most vulnerable are not discarded or ignored, but they focus our combined effort. Your call inspires us to be better, strengthened by our collective compassion. This conviction further strengthens our dedication to assure FAO noble mandate for a world free from hunger and malnutrition. Just originally said by President Roosevelt, free from want, as laid down by our founding members in our Constitution. At FAO, for over 80 decades, we have recognized that food security cannot be achieved without prioritizing human dignity. We have worked tirelessly knowing that only by ensuring sufficiently nutritious food for the hungry and malnutrition can we overcome global inequalities and poverty. Food does not only feed the body, it feeds the soul. It restores dignity. It shows a better life and a better future for all. This is the FAO foundational aspiration for better, for a holistic and integrated vision that leave no one behind. Better production to make certain that farmers are equipped to produce more with less. Better nutrition to ensure access for all families to safe, healthy, nutritious, and affordable food. A better environment to safeguard our land, water, and the ecosystem for future generations to come. And a better life to make sure that all people, especially the most vulnerable, can live in stability with dignity and opportunity. They are the pathway towards the global transformation we need so that the next generations inherit a world where no one goes to bed hungry. Your Holiness has emphasized that the poverty is multifaceted and encompasses material, social, cultural, and spiritual dimensions. At FAO, we recognize that hunger is both a cause and consequence of multi-dimensional poverty, and that needed to be tackled through a comprehensive cross-sectors and a multilateral approach that build on past lessons while concretely adopting forward-looking solutions. The transformation of global agriculture to be more efficient, more inclusive, more resilient, and more sustainable is the only viable way to address the economic, human, social, and environmental facet of the poverty and hunger. Today, we commemorate a historical moment. FAO was born from hunger, from the war, from the devastation. Our founders shared a simple vision. Working together, we can defeat hunger. Today, we remain steadfast in our conviction that we are better together. We must leverage FAO legacy to leave a world free from hunger for our children and grandchildren. Progress since 1945 has been immense, from 80% promised down to the 80% in 1945 to 2024. Yet, hunger remains a reality for millions of people. We know that the world produces enough food for everyone. Yet, food availability, accessibility, and affordability are not equally for all. For 8 decades, FAO stood with the community of the nations, and together we have achieved so much. We successfully eradicated the deadly cattle disease, rid the pest, thereby helping to restore millions of livelihoods. The Codex Alimentarius was established, set the international standard to ensure the safe food for all. And in times of crisis, recently, we acted together when the desert locust hit East Africa in 2019. $231 million were mobilized, which saved $1.7 billion in crop and secured food for more than 40 million people. Avoid cheap overlapping crisis, because afterwards the pandemic came. I really appreciate all the members, support, partners. I should mention the European Union and the World Bank and Russia, China, you name it. So United States and Canada, I remember their contribution. 231 million for local. We just acted 1 year earlier. Otherwise, the disaster really. This success are the result of working together. It is the proof of the power of multilateralism at the best. History teaches us, however, that progress is fragile. Climate shocks, pest and disease, economic downturns, and devastating effect of the protracted conflict, respect no borders, destroy years of advancement, and show that no country can or should face this crisis alone. Around the world, more than 1 billion people work in the agri-food system that feed us. Our legacy cannot be built without empowering those who produce our food and those who will inherit the system. We must continue to focus on the women's empowerment, secure land rights for women, providing them with access to credit and technology, recognize their central role in food production and nutrition. These holidays remind us of the intrinsic importance of women's dignity and rights, particularly in the face of poverty and exclusion. Today is about looking forward to the future. The youth are already shaping. We must make agriculture attractive to youth, facilitate their access to land, finance, and digital tools. We must equip them to not just participate, but to lead. We must give them the pen for themselves to read their own chapter. We could have them write chapter for themselves. They should by themselves. We need to recognize that the indigenous peoples are essential partners for a sustainable future. Their role is not just about providing food for their own community. It's about safeguarding the very fundamental issues resources for our global agro-system. By supporting them, we are not only upholding the human rights, we are investing in food security for all the humanity. And we must strengthen and support smallholder farmers by providing them with the tools they need to gain bargaining power, reduce post-harvest losses, and access a larger market. Smallholders produce most of the food we eat, yet they are almost always left to sit on the margin of society. We must ensure that women, youth, indigenous people, and smallholder farmers are the heroes of our legacy. Your Holiness, Your Majesties, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and friends, to mark today's historical moment and event, we are officially opening the door to the Food and Culture Museum and Network here at the Africa headquarters. Thanks to the host country and the leadership of the President Mattarella, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, we are together walk the talk. The museum is a dynamic education platform and a global network that brings together agro-food system and heritage, tradition, knowledge, science, innovation, all this together to access to any corner of the world. The museum and network amplifies information using the universal language of the art and culture. It will inform, involve, and inspire people to act. On this World Day, let us honor our common humanity by thinking together, learning together, and contributing together. Sharing and collaborating is our common language. With mutual respect and understanding, to back more food secure future for all on this small planet. On this World Day, let us reaffirm our commitment to our shared mission until its accomplishment. Let the end of hunger be our common legacy. Human legacy. There is a Chinese proverb which says, 常理天下安. It means when the granaries are full, the world is at peace. Your Holiness call us to envision a civilization of love, where the poor are not just the object of the charities, but essential in shaping a better society. This call for the policy that promote justice and equity, and for the personal conversion as the cornerstone of the transformation. Today, let us heed that call, a call that transcends borders and beliefs. Let us be better together. Let us honor 80 years of progress by securing the next 80 years of food, dignity, and hope for all people everywhere, leaving no one behind. And thank you all of you.
Thank you, Director General, for your words. Through his moral leadership and compassion, His Holiness Pope Leo XIV has inspired so many people of all faiths across the world. It is with an extreme honor and pleasure that I would like to introduce His Holiness Pope Leo XIV. Please join me in welcoming warmly His Holiness.
Señor Director General, distinguidas autoridades, excelencias, señoras y señores, Permítanme ante todo expresar mi más cordial agradecimiento por la invitación a compartir esta memorable jornada con todos ustedes. Visito esta prestigiosa sede siguiendo el ejemplo de mis predecesores en la cátedra de Pedro, que otorgaron a la Fao una especial estima y cercanía, conscientes del relevante mandato de esta organización internacional. Saludo a todos los presentes con gran respeto y deferencia, que a través de ustedes, como servidor del Evangelio, expreso a todos los pueblos de la tierra mi más ferviente anhelo de que la paz reine por doquier. El corazón del Papa, que no se pertenece a sí mismo, sino a la Iglesia y en cierto modo a toda la humanidad, mantiene viva la confianza de que si se derrota el hambre, la paz será el terreno fértil del que nace el bien común de todas las naciones. A 80 años de la institución de la Fao, nuestra conciencia debe interpelarnos una vez más frente al drama siempre actual del hambre y la malnutrición. Poner fin a estos males incumbe no solo a empresarios, funcionarios o responsables políticos. Es un problema a cuya solución todos debemos concurrir. Agencias internacionales, gobiernos, instituciones públicas, ONGs, entidades académicas y sociedad civil, sin olvidar a cada persona en particular, que ha de ver en el sufrimiento ajeno algo propio. Quien padece hambre no es un extraño, es mi hermano, y he de ayudarlo sin dilación alguna. El objetivo que nos ve ahora reunidos es tan noble como ineludible: movilizar toda energía disponible en un espíritu de solidaridad para que en el mundo no haya nadie al que le falte el alimento necesario, tanto en cantidad como en calidad. De esta manera, se acabará con una situación que niegue la dignidad humana, compromete el desarrollo deseable, obliga inicuamente a muchedumbres de personas a abandonar sus hogares y obstaculiza el entendimiento entre los pueblos. Desde su fundación, la Fao ha orientado infatigablemente su servicio para que el desarrollo de la agricultura y la seguridad alimentaria sean objetivos prioritarios de la política internacional. En este sentido, a 5 años del cumplimiento de la Agenda 2030, hemos de recordar con vehemencia que alcanzar el hambre cero solo será posible si existe una voluntad real para ello, y no únicamente solemnes declaraciones. Por esto mismo, con renovado apremio, hoy estamos llamados a responder a una pregunta fundamental. ¿Dónde estamos en la acción contra la plaga del hambre que continúa flagelando atrozmente a una parte significativa de la humanidad? Es preciso y sumamente triste mencionar que a pesar de los avances tecnológicos, científicos y productivos, 673 millones de personas en el mundo se van a la cama sin comer y otros 2.300 millones no pueden permitirse una alimentación adecuada desde el punto de vista nutricional. Son cifras que no podemos reputar como meras estadísticas. Detrás de cada uno de estos números hay una vida truncada, una comunidad vulnerable. Hay madres que no pueden alimentar a sus hijos. Quizá el dato más conmovedor sea el de los niños que sufren la malnutrición, con las consecuentes enfermedades, el retraso en el crecimiento motor y cognitivo. Esto no es casualidad, sino la señal evidente de una insensibilidad imperante de una economía sin alma, de un cuestionable modelo de desarrollo y de un sistema de distribución de recursos injusto e insostenible. En un tiempo en el que la ciencia ha alargado la esperanza de vida, la tecnología ha acercado continentes y el conocimiento ha abierto horizontes antes inimaginables. Permitir que millones de seres humanos vivan y mueran golpeados por el hambre es un fracaso colectivo, un extravío ético, una culpa histórica. Los escenarios de los conflictos actuales han hecho resurgir el uso de los alimentos como arma de guerra, contradiciendo todo el trabajo de sensibilización llevado adelante por la Fao durante estas 8 décadas. Cada vez parece alejarse más ese consenso expresado por los estados que consideran la inanición deliberada un crimen de guerra, como también el impedir intencionalmente el acceso a los alimentos a comunidades o pueblos enteros. El derecho internacional humanitario prohíbe, sin excepción, atacar a civiles y bienes esenciales para la supervivencia de las poblaciones. Hace unos años el Consejo de Seguridad de las Naciones Unidas condenó unánimemente esta práctica, reconociendo la conexión entre conflictos armados e inseguridad alimentaria y estigmatizando el uso del hambre infligido a civiles como método de guerra. Esto parece olvidado, pues con dolor somos testigos del uso continuo de esa estrategia cruel que condena a hombres, mujeres, niños al hambre, negándoles el derecho más elemental, el derecho a la vida. Sin embargo, el silencio de quienes mueren de hambre grita la conciencia de todos, aunque a menudo sea ignorado, acallado o tergiversado. No podemos seguir así, ya que el hambre no es el destino del hombre, sino su perdición. Fortalezcamos pues nuestro entusiasmo para remediar este escándalo. No nos detengamos pensando que el hambre es solo un problema que resolver. Es más, es un clamor que sube al cielo y que requiere la veloz respuesta de cada nación, de cada organismo internacional, de cada instancia regional, local o privada. Nadie puede quedar al margen de luchar denodadamente contra el hambre. Esta batalla es de todos. Excelencias, hoy en día asistimos a paradojas ultrajantes. ¿Cómo podemos seguir tolerando que se desperdicien ingentes toneladas de alimentos mientras muchedumbres de personas se afanan por encontrar en la basura algo que llevarse a la boca? ¿Cómo explicar las desigualdades que permiten a unos pocos tenerlo todo y a muchos no tener nada? ¿Cómo no se detienen inmediatamente las guerras que destruyen los campos antes que las ciudades, llegando incluso a escenas indignas de la condición humana, en las que la vida de las personas, y en particular la de los niños, en vez de ser cuidada, se desvanece mientras van en busca de comida con la piel pegada a los huesos? Contemplando el actual panorama mundial, tan penoso y desolador por los conflictos que lo afligen, da la impresión de que nos hemos convertido en testigos abúlicos de una violencia desgarradora, cuando en realidad las tragedias humanitarias por todos conocidas tendrían que instarnos a ser artesanos de paz, munidos del bálsamo sanador que requieren las heridas abiertas en el corazón mismo de la humanidad. Una sangría que debería atraer inmediatamente nuestra atención y que habría de llevarnos a redoblar nuestra responsabilidad individual y colectiva, despertándonos del letargo asiago en el que con frecuencia estamos sumidos. El mundo no puede seguir asistiendo a espectáculos tan macabros como los que están en curso en numerosas regiones de la Tierra. Hay que darlos por zanjados cuanto antes. Ha llegado la hora, pues, de preguntarnos con lucidez y coraje: ¿se merecen las generaciones venideras un mundo que no es capaz de erradicar de una vez por todas el hambre y la miseria? ¿Es posible que no se pueda acabar con tantas y tan lacerantes arbitrariedades como asigna negativamente la familia humana? ¿Pueden los responsables políticos y sociales seguir polarizados, gastando tiempo y recursos en discusiones inútiles y violentas, mientras aquellos a quienes deberían de servir continúan olvidados y utilizados en aras de intereses partidistas? No podemos limitarnos a proclamar valores, debemos encarnarlos. Los eslóganes nos sacan de la miseria. Urge una superación de un paradigma político tan enconado, basándonos en una visión ética que prevalezca sobre el pragmatismo vigente que reemplaza a la persona con el beneficio. No basta con invocar la solidaridad, debemos garantizar la seguridad alimentaria, el acceso a los recursos y el desarrollo rural sostenible. En este sentido, me parece un verdadero acierto que la Jornada Mundial de la Alimentación se celebre este año bajo el lema "Mano de la mano por unos alimentos y un futuro mejores". En un momento histórico, marcado por profundas divisiones y contradicciones, sentirse unidos por el vínculo de la colaboración no es solo un hermoso ideal, sino un llamamiento decidido a la acción. No hemos de contentarnos con llenar paredes con grandes y llamativos carteles. Ha llegado el tiempo de asumir un renovado compromiso que incida positivamente en la vida de aquellos que tienen el estómago vacío y esperan de nosotros gestos concretos que los arranquen de su postración. Tal objetivo solo puede alcanzarse mediante la convergencia de políticas eficaces y una implementación coordinada y sinérgica de las intervenciones. La exhortación a caminar juntos en concordia fraterna debe convertirse en el principio rector que oriente las políticas y las inversiones, porque únicamente a través de una cooperación sincera y constante se podrá construir una seguridad alimentaria justa y accesible para todos. Solo uniendo nuestras manos podremos construir un futuro digno en el cual la seguridad alimentaria se reafirme como un derecho y no como un privilegio. Con esta convicción quisiera evidenciar que en la lucha contra el hambre y en el fomento de un desarrollo integral, el papel de la mujer se configura como indispensable, aunque no siempre sea suficientemente apreciado. Las mujeres son las primeras en velar por el pan que falta, en sembrar esperanza en los surcos de la tierra, en amasar el futuro con las manos encallecidas por el esfuerzo. En cada rincón del mundo, la mujer es silenciosa arquitecta de la supervivencia, custodia metódica de la creación. Reconocer y valorar su papel no es solo cuestión de justicia, es garantía de una alimentación más humana y más duradera. Excelencias, conociendo la proyección de este foro internacional, déjenme que subraye sin ambajes la importancia del multilateralismo frente a nocivas tentaciones que tienden a erigirse como autocráticas en un mundo multipolar y cada vez más interconectado. Se hace, por tanto, más necesario que nunca repensar con audacia las modalidades de la cooperación internacional. No se trata solo de individuar estrategias o realizar prolijos diagnósticos. Lo que los países más pobres aguardan con esperanza es que se oiga sin filtros su voz, que se conozcan realmente sus carencias y se les ofrezca una oportunidad, de modo que se cuente con ellos a la hora de solucionar sus verdaderos problemas, sin imponerles soluciones fabricadas en lejanos despachos, en reuniones dominadas por ideologías que ignoran frecuentemente culturas ancestrales, tradiciones religiosas o costumbres muy arraigadas en la sabiduría de los mayores. Es imperioso construir una visión que haga que cada actor del escenario internacional pueda responder con mayor eficacia y prontitud a las genuinas necesidades de aquellos a quienes estamos llamados a servir mediante nuestro compromiso cotidiano. Today, we can no longer delude ourselves by thinking that the consequences of our failures impact only those who are hidden out of sight. The hungry faces of so many who still suffer challenge us and invite us to re-examine our lifestyles, our priorities, and our overall way of living in today's world. For this very reason, I want to bring to the attention of this international forum the multitudes who lack access to drinking water, food, essential medical care, decent housing, basic education, and dignified work, so that we can share in the pain of those who are nourished by despair, tears, and misery alone. How can we fail to remember all of those who are condemned to death and hardship in Ukraine, Gaza, Haiti, Afghanistan, Mali, the Central African Republic, Yemen, and South Sudan, to name just a few places on the planet where poverty has become the daily bread of so many of our brothers and sisters. The international community cannot look the other way. We must make their suffering our own. We cannot aspire to a more just social life if we are not willing to rid ourselves of the apathy that justifies hunger as if it were background music, which we've grown accustomed to. An unsolvable problem, or simply someone else's responsibility. We cannot demand action from others if we ourselves fail to honor our own commitments. By our omission, we become complicit in the promotion of injustice. We cannot hope for a better world, a bright and peaceful future, if we are not willing to share what we ourselves have received. Only then can we affirm with truth and courage that no one has been left behind. I invoke upon all of you gathered here today, the Fao and its officials, who strive daily to fulfill their responsibilities with virtue and to lead by example, the blessings of God, who cares for the poor, the hungry, and the helpless. May God renew in each of us that hope which does not disappoint. The challenges that lie before us are immense, but so is our potential and the possible courses of action. Hunger has many names and weighs upon maturity and growth towards the happiness for which all have been created. There's a hunger for faith, hope, and love that must be channeled into the comprehensive response that we are called to carry out together. What Jesus said to his disciples when facing a hungry crowd remains a key and pressing challenge for the international community. Give them something to eat. With the small contribution of the disciples, Jesus performed a great miracle. For the courage and the energy to continue to work toward a justice that will yield lasting and beneficial results. as you continue your efforts. You will always be able to count on the solidarity, engagement, the commitment of the Holy See, the institutions of the Catholic Church that stand ready to go out and serve the poorest and the most disadvantaged throughout the world. Thank you very much.
For those wonderful words. Inspired by the steadfast commitment of His Holiness to peace and a world free of hunger, it is incumbent on each and every one of us, nations and communities and individuals, to make sure that no one goes hungry in a world of plenty. I would like to thank all of the esteemed delegates and all of you. You are all excellencies. Thank you. I'd like to thank you very much for being here. All of the ministers who've come from around the world to be here with us today. Ministers of Agriculture from Italy, from China, from around the world. I met this morning from Angola. I met Jordan as well. Everybody from all parts of the world. Thank you for being here, for having listened to this wonderful keynote speech by His Holiness. It is quite moving, tough to follow, but I know that we're all here to be able to do the work that is requested of us. Richard, you said one thing to me behind scene. You said,
"A hope that does not disappoint."
The hope that does not disappear. Monique, your words as well. I heard you in the back say,
so deeply inspired. And one of the things that Richard actually said is that something that's so impactful about Fao is that it's not just focusing on the issues, but really bringing hopeful solutions. And that's a really beautiful perspective and something we really need right now.
Let us give His Holiness a round of applause. I'm sure he will say
a short interlude while the Director General accompanies His Holiness Pope Leo XIV, and we ask that all other guests please just remain here with us.
You won't be alone because I'm actually going through a couple of things with you. Yeah, please.
Look, it's such a privilege to be here with you and to mark FAO's 80th anniversary. Over the years, I've worked in many countries for FAO, including several as FAO representative, country director. I've seen with my own eyes, I've felt with my own heart how access to food is about so much more than just nourishment. How important that is. Access to food is also about dignity. It's also about peace. It's also about stability. And I've seen how deeply food security and peace, how closely they're intertwined. Our shared efforts to strengthen agri-food systems and protect livelihoods matter so much.
Absolutely, Richard. You know, High School Musical taught me that we are all in this together. And as the first ever United Nations Youth Champion 15 years ago, I learned how advocacy and the partnerships that we build, including those beyond traditional systems, can drive real and lasting change. So today, as I join you on this World Food Day, I especially want to shine a bright light on the food and nutrition needs of young people and women farmers all around the world.
So So one thing is that when I started my career, I started as a filmmaker and a photographer. And then I spent 2 decades with the United Nations around the world, leading peacekeeping and peace building. And one of the things that really spoke to me is that you have to, and we all have to hear what is needed from the people who are on the ground and in all of the places where we work. So I think one of the best things to do is to go now on this journey together through videos and the voices of those people who are on the ground, resilient, doing implementing what it is that all of us in these rooms are talking about, what you were talking about, Richard. So we are off on a small tour. We will be stopping by His Majesty's homeland of Lesotho. We'll also be going to Sao Tome and Principe. We'll be going to the 8th UN Secretary General's home as well, the Republic of Korea, Ecuador, and Turkey. So please stay with us. We'll stop in between this journey, but we'll be here with you.
Aralarda şunu fark ettim, onların sesleri insan tarafı gibi geliyor. Ve ben bunu gördükten sonra bundan ayrılmak istemedim ve bunu kendim mesleğe dönüştürdüm. Ve şu anda seçtiğim tercihten çok memnunum. Ben Leone XIV, 22 yaşındayım. Şu anda ayrılık teknik yapıyorum. Desteklerden en önemli olan noktalardan biri şuydu. Ben ürettiğim ürünlerin nasıl satılacağı konusunda kendimi biraz eksik hissediyordum. Ama nasıl satılabileceğim, hangi yerlerde bunu paylaşabileceğim, nasıl paylaşımlarda bulunmanın önemli olduğuna dair. Onun haricinde işte koloni bakımı yöntemi nasıl olması lazım. Bunların hepsi benim için gayet yeterliydi zaten.
Evet, 5 senedir bu işin içindeyiz. Ancak burada aldığımız eğitimlerle aslında bir yol haritası belirledim kendime. Ama yanlış yaptığımız kısımları çok rahat görmemizi sağladı bu eğitimler. Onları düzelterek biraz daha kapsamlı, biraz daha detaylı, biraz daha titiz çalışmalarla kapasitemizi arttırarak daha kaliteli, daha sürdürülebilir ürünler üreteceğim.
Çiftliğimi büyütmek istiyorum ve ilerleyen zamanda sadece aralıktan geçinen bir aile oluşturup onu kurmak ve insanlara güzel ürünler takmayı planlıyorum.
Mushokolathi ukhetisa imisebenzi elofumanejeke yawendlela imphilise. Lesosoletsoqalatsimo ke go batla go ithepa le go iketsetsa tšhelete. Pholo tse ke kopanang le yona ke go hloka tšhelete ya go reka peo. Mme FAO e nthusitse ka go mpha peo le manyolo.
We had already, for a number of years, researched, and through that research, we realized that there is a product that we can grow in Lesotho that can contribute to agricultural growth and agricultural transformation, and that product is the potato.
Lebitso la ka ke Mmantshane Diholo. Ke mosadi wa Mosotho ya nang le bana ba supileng ke sehwai sa ditapole. Ka nako ya dilemo tse 15 tse fetileng, ke atlehile ho phedisa le ho fepa lelapa la ka ka temo. profetamo ke rekisa dijo tikologong ya heso ditafole tseo di hlahisang masimong a ka le tsona ke di phehela bareki ba ka.
Tabatabelo ya ka ke hore nakong e tlang ke tle ke leme haholo e le hore ke tle ke tsebe ho rekisa haholo le ho ja le lelapa leso ho etsa tjhelete.
Dikajeno ke seng ke itshetleha ka tsona ke seng ke kwabala ka ntle ke bongata ba tsona mme di nthusitse le kgwebong ya ka baji ba tapole ha ba sa sokola.
Feel the wisdom of your words, Your Majesty King Letsie, as you teach us how potato farming has transformed rural livelihoods across Lesotho, particularly women farmers. We also saw that in Turkey, beekeeping is helping young women to develop sustainable businesses for today, but also for their tomorrows. Let us now learn more about how FAO's globally important agricultural heritage systems programs is helping communities to protect their heritage and build resilient agri-food systems across the world. Thank you.
Para mim, o cacau é o ouro do meu país. É a fonte essencial de rendimento e sustento para a minha família e para a minha comunidade. Meu nome é Camila de Carvalho. Tenho 32 anos, vivo em Roça Praia das Pontes, em Santo Tomé e Príncipe. Cultivo cacau há mais de 7 anos. O custo de vida é alto e gostava de ter um rendimento maior para poder garantir tudo o que os meus filhos precisam. Desde que entrei para a cooperativa, minha vida mudou. Aprendi a usar tablet, outras técnicas para cultivar e secar cacau. E a minha produção aumentou.
No ano passado, nós participamos na feira Eurochocolate na Itália, que foi fantástico. Levamos o nosso chocolate, as pessoas compraram, dinheiro, gostaram bastante.
Sonho um dia de fazer meu próprio chocolate para mostrar que as mulheres também podem liderar toda a cadeia de valor do cacau, da terra até ao produto final.
Mi mami nos enseña siempre en la agricultura de cómo hay que sembrar, de cómo hay que hacer con los granos. Y no trabajamos en el terreno, no hay mucho alimento para el consumo. Guardamos a parte maicito cosechando mesmo, escogemos para la semilla buena, limpio, sanito, aparte guardamos para la semilla. Ahí cuando ya comenzamos a sembrar, ya ese granito sale, ya sembramos, seguimos sembrando.
For centuries, the Quechua indigenous peoples have cultivated a unique farming tradition in the Andes of Ecuador. Fine-tuned by the ancestral knowledge of generations and the careful use of native seeds, this system, known as chakra farming, produces an abundance of food, despite the harsh conditions at altitudes between 2,500 and 3,400 meters above sea level. At the heart of this tradition are the women, guardians of the land and keepers of this living legacy.
The agriculture is not an easy task. You have to understand the cycle of life of the planet, of the plant and of the animals in order to create agri-food systems that are resilient. The way women are doing it and the way FAO is recognizing this important role of women is something truly amazing.
In 2023, FAO designated the Andean Chakra, an ancestral agricultural system of the Quechua communities of Cotacachi, as a globally important agricultural heritage system, recognizing its importance for food security and its contribution to agro-biodiversity conservation through traditional knowledge, sustainability and resilience.
Las mujeres siempre salen unas ideas. Eso tenemos que mantenerlas. Cuando viva aparte, tengo que sembrar tal cual como mi mami lo hacía. Como ella me enseñó, entonces eso es lo que se queda en mí.
저한테는 제2의 엄마라고 생각을 하면서 저는 연애를 하거든요. 그냥 뭐 해명하는 것보다 바다 자체가 제2의 엄마예요. 그러니까 바다에서 많은 걸 치유받고 바다에서 많은 걸 항상 받기 때문에 엄마들 항상 이제 베풀고 주잖아요. 저는 이제 아낌없는 사랑을 받고 있는 사람이라서 제2의 엄마라고 생각을 합니다.
On a single breath, women from the Republic of Korea's Jeju Island dive into the sea to depths of 20 meters, harvesting shellfish, sea urchins and algae. Known as Haenyor, or women of the sea, they've passed down this ancient skill for over 1,000 years. Now, the future of this sustainable fishing practice is uncertain.
제가 지금 물질을 한 지가 12년이 됐거든요. 처음 제가 바다에 들어갔을 때랑 그리고 그 후 몇 년 후에랑 지금이랑 너무나 바다가 많이 달라져 있어서 그때 제가 처음 시작할 때만 해도 해산물이 많이 풍족했어요.
작업한 지는 56년째. 제일 어려운 지금이 바다가 자꾸 황폐화가 돼가지고 수온이 바닷물이 옛날하고는 틀려요.
In 2023, the Jeju Haenyor fisheries system was recognized as a globally important agricultural heritage system by the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations for its role in preserving and protecting the marine biodiversity. The fishing grounds of Jeju Island are in fact better preserved than other sea areas, due in part to mandatory restrictions on fishing. The Haenyor have volunteered their own, even stricter rules.
제주도 같은 경우는 좀 특이한 케이스예요. 해녀라는 게 괜히 여자이고 여자가 해녀이고 그런 게 이제 되게 자부심을 느끼는 거죠.
Wow. Incredible, right? These are beautiful stories of farmers, fishers, and communities finding sustainable ways to cultivate, process, and share food. And we're all reminded that food is deeply connected to community, tradition, and innovation. That partnerships across countries and generations drive progress.
That is so true, Monique. And in order to be able to deliver this progress and the effects on the ground, you need visibility.
Yes.
And visibility and support. And that's why the work that we do in terms of advocacy and forging these really meaningful partnerships is really critical.
Absolutely.
FAO Goodwill ambassadors, champions, food heroes, they all play a really important role. We have some of them with us here today, of course. And Monique, you just joined as an FAO champion.
I did.
How do you feel?
I'm very excited.
And what does it mean to you?
Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, it means so much. Having the opportunity as someone coming from the entertainment industry, just to speak to what you said about visibility, I don't believe that there's a reason to have a platform if we don't use it to allow other people to stand on it and to do something good. So I'm so proud to be an FAO champion. And I myself come from a family of smallholder farmers. And I believe that no matter the size of your platform, every single one of us has a role to play in using our voices to bring attention to urgent needs, to say what needs to be said, and inspire people to take action. So why don't we just take a moment to celebrate the work of FAO's Goodwill Ambassadors, champions, and food heroes, and see the difference that they are making.
Thank you, Monique. We'll take 2 minutes, and of course, you will hear from our very own Goodwill Ambassadors who are royalty here with us today. Thank you very much.
In addition to wonderful Monique, we are joined